And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of your co-hosts, Amadeus Kyouma here, starting us off tonight with some interesting music information for the haphazard occurrences. Imagine, Moscow, 1991. There was a massive concert being held at Tushino Airfield that was free for anyone to join. This was the only time in history that both the legendary bands Metallica and Pantera played at the same concert. Other acts present were EST, a local band, the Black Crowes, as well as AC/DC. And our trivia is related to this concert as well. Care to guess how many people attended it? We'll have the answer after we're done catching up with Nocam and GymBagBob. Uh, yeah, like I said, I'm Amadeus Kyouma.
I'm your other co-host, GymBagBob.
And I'm your host, GymBagBob.
All right.
I'm your host, Nocam.
I'm your host, Killer Leafy. Let's get right into the lies.
Welcome back to the H3 podcast, guys. Today we are going to eat a Whopper sandwich through the microphone.
I thought this was the Joe Rogan experience.
No, this is a mukbang. This is the new and improved. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The fuck is that guy's name? I was trying to come up with the name of that fat guy.
What fat guy? There's a lot of them.
The guy who was skinny and played an instrument and then got overweight because of mukbangs.
All right. What the fuck are mukbangs?
You don't know what they are?
No.
Okay, you
It's
got
people just sitting and eating food.
Okay,
What?
the one of the last good H3 videos that were made was of a mukbang.
Okay.
I'll send it to you, and then I just want to know your thoughts on it. But yeah, you essentially get a huge platter of food.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just eat it on camera. It's kind of like ASMR mixed food porn. I don't know what the fuck it is.
That's weird. All right. Why is it called mukbang?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Google it.
All right.
Mukbang.
While you're Googling that, I found something great on the treasure trove of the internet called Facebook. There's this thing, I saw it on real life in the town I live in. Happy Friday, let us help you plump up your booty. Did you know that we offer butt enhancements via vacuum cupping? It's a non-surgical butt lift, plump and cellulite reduction. I didn't know this was a business.
Hey, we're not doing advertisements yet.
This is a real thing.
I know. That was the show.
It's fucking.
That's an actual. It's on Facebook's. Carter's Facebook.
I don't understand. I don't know if it's a targeted ad or if they just giving it to everyone. If it's targeted, then I feel a bit offended.
What's your watch history showing?
I mean, I did. You know what? It might be because of something I looked up last night, but we're not going to talk about that.
Interesting. Okay.
We're not going to. I'm gonna let
you just outed yourself.
I didn't out myself. I just said there might be the possibility of something.
What took me? Actually, I forgot to tell you what drink I'm drinking.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's an AHA sparkling water. Surprise, surprise. I had a choice of a bubbly this time because I ran I left the dorm, ran down the street to pick up the sparkling water here. Yeah, as soon as I walked up to it, there's just these two, random people in the Walgreens. It's like, hello, sir. It's like they're not even working there either. I just stared at them and then grabbed the product and just left.
Yeah.
That's
interesting. How many weird occurrences would you say that you have living in a bigger city? Does it happen fairly frequently?
It depends on how often you go out and the times you go out. I'd say the later you go out, the more, odd occurrences, happen because that's when people aren't doing their midday shit.
Yeah, nightlife it's a different life to itself.
Yeah, they're trying to have fun, and then also trying to steal shit as well. Which is also fun to watch.
People having fun, what's their definition, do you think? An average person in Minneapolis
being obscene,
or in a certain city.
Just being overbearing, just on the street, screaming.
That's someone's idea of fun in Minneapolis, you'd say?
Well, I mean, Thanks for doxing me, but I mean.
All right, it's a big city. All right, it's a big city. It's like got like 2.5 million people. I think you're fine.
Okay, but then I also said dorm, so like it kind of
Well,
like condenses it.
well,
Okay.
damn.
Yeah. So in a big city that nobody knows of where it is.
Where?
Just
Could be multiple cities.
could be
Multiple
Ohio,
Spider-Men.
could be
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
we don't know. We don't know.
But yeah, it happens. I'd say you'd probably be able to interact with people more weirdly in the city, and then people would be less, concerned or weirded out than if you were to do it like in a smaller town, like what you're in.
Yeah. Do you prefer the big city randomness, the chaoticness of it, or do you like the small town
Really
simplicity?
depends on what it is. I mean, if it's watching someone like getting angry because they got caught stealing something, they're being a dumb fuck about it. Yeah, that's interesting to watch. If
Have
it's
you
some,
seen that in person?
yeah, at the
What were they trying to steal?
I don't fucking know. But all I
Where
could
was it?
gather, it was at the store that I just went to. It was the Walgreens down the street.
Um, Speaking of stealing, that reminds me of something I've seen. I don't know what states in specifically, but at like gas stations or other stores, people are charging stuff at like $990, but then they have coupons that they give you up front to reduce the price to what like the actual item is priced for. So you can grab a Butterfinger that's according to them worth $990 and then get a coupon to make it like $2. The reason for that is the criminal penalties that apply due to specific amounts of it's like dependent upon the value of the product that you're stealing. I think the issue is that in some of these states, if it's below a certain amount, like legally, you will face no repercussions. So what
I
they do
feel
is
like
they
that's just too blatantly like, they're playing the game too obviously.
what do you mean by that?
Like if you want to out someone for stealing something, it would be more obscure, or I guess, I mean, it would also take a lot more time, and
Well,
nobody's actually going to do it, and this idea isn't going to be implemented at all because no one's going to give a shit. But
it's for the people that do
if
like
you sit
really
there
a
and
big shit. Like if they're taking a
if you
box of
sit there and
shoes.
watch the security cameras and uh wait till the price is added up to the price point and then charge them the federal amount, whatever, then that would be playing the game more obscurely. But this one is just kind of blatant.
Well, this is the only defense that like small business owners or even other larger businesses to some extent, this is all they can do because the like expensive shoes, expensive shoes, they can be like 200, $300.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it falls under that amount, I'm guessing, so people can just fucking walk out with it. And this is like all businesses can do unless legislation is changed is to do really ineffective, I guess, overall. I mean, still people can just like if it's just a small item like a candy bar, yeah, you can put that in your sleeve. No one's gonna fucking notice, whatever. But at least with a bigger item, I guess in stores where, a loss of products is more financially detrimental,
Yeah.
it's I guess it makes sense as that like, okay, we're being intuitive about this.
I
We're
mean, I also don't understand, like, if, okay, let's say somebody, is down on their luck, and then, it's just something they do because otherwise they won't be able to ever, in, real sense, obtain, let's say a Butterfinger. What is that really deterring anyone? Because, you're not telling them up front until they're at the counter. And then all of a sudden, it's a federal charge,
well,
for stealing a candy bar.
they
There's
can't
no
lie.
there's no really like punishment for it other than like, or there's no deterrence from it.
Well,
It's just like, surprise, you're under arrest.
well, the deterrent is that they obviously label whatever it is as the stupidly expensive item. It's a
Okay, so
Butterfinger that's
then
labeled.
they're being honest about it. Like, okay, this
Well,
is,
yeah, they
yeah.
legally store owners can't say, okay, well, it's actually $50, but actually, it's 200.
Okay.
So they give you the actual price to some extent, and then it's the coupons that they give you that reduce it. If someone happens to walk out with it, at least you still have it on, I'd imagine, CCTV of them walking out without paying for something that is really expensive and that can be criminally punished.
So that brings up something else then. How is it worth anything then? Or how is it worth the amount that they say it is? Because
Well, they're
normally,
just saying it is.
well, right, but like, what something is actually worth is dictated by the market, not by, oh, well, it's worth $50. If it's worth $50 and you're going to the, hundreds of thousands of other businesses that are out there that offer it for like $1, which is, would be the standard of that price then.
I mean, that's unpacking the entirety of economics. Why does anything have value to it? It's because
Because it's a set amount that, people think it's worth. I'm
people
not
think
gonna
it's worth the amount of labor put into it, the amount
right.
of assembly time, the cost of the parts itself,
And
the
it's also
work,
just like,
whatever.
it could be that, or it's also just like what is agreed upon, what it is worth, how much you're willing to pay for it.
Well,
Like,
yeah, would you pay $5 for a gallon of milk?
I mean, that's how much it is.
Fuck, that's trash. Okay, I guess I'm enjoying my small town life still, even if I don't pay for things a whole lot. I'll
Yeah, I mean, it's about $5
Hey,
now.
talk about it. Okay, so all right, let me account for your situation. What if a gallon of milk was $15? What then?
$15, and yeah, you just wouldn't buy it. No one would buy it, and then that
Yeah,
would, decrease the want for people to
value.
buy it. It
yeah.
would,
So you gotta account for the what your competition is selling it at. Make sure that you're, at least evenly, if not doing a better
right.
deal. But you still need to be making as much money as possible because that's how, any capitalistic endeavor goes. It's all about money, money, money. That's why, it's great to
Right.
outsource jobs to China, for example, because you don't have to pay them shit
Well, that
by
too, but
comparison.
I mean, you can't really outsource milk other than like the plastic jugs you get.
No, but I know. I remember seeing on a couple of different websites that inflation is at a or okay, inflation's high, but that the cost of grocery store items is at an all-time high as well in the past couple of years.
I mean, that's how inflation works, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's as a direct result, but it's I don't know. It again, this is something I've seen before, but 14 an hour, 15 an hour, what's like the new $9 an hour. It makes sense, but it's just
Yeah.
annoying.
That's just insane. Or at least, I mean, obviously we're not economists, so I mean, whatever we say isn't.
Well, I took economics.
Well, we both took high school base level economic classes,
Well, I
and
went
yeah.
to Ridgewater. I went to college for mine, so granted, and I will say granted, I didn't graduate from that, but I
Wait,
mean,
you didn't fully take the class then?
well, I took economics and chemistry at a college. I just didn't pass those classes.
Okay, so I passed economics in high school, so
I
I
did
mean,
too.
okay, but then you started it at college and then didn't pass.
Well, I think what I was technically doing, if I remember right, is I was taking both economics both at college and high school for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though if I had just taken it just at college, the credit would have counted for both. I think it was
Weird.
just the class. I was fine with the double crossing of
Yeah,
material because it's like, okay, I'll feel more confident in it.
you'll
Maybe I
know
can,
more.
yeah, I can flex on these dumb fuck high school kids that know nothing.
Yeah.
I think that was my rationale. Plus the class, I liked it. I honestly, you know what? There's so many times I think to myself, how could I have done high school differently? There's so many different things I would like. You know what? What if I did that differently? How different would that make everything?
I mean,
It's such a fun
yes.
rabbit hole to think about.
Well, that's a story for like a lot, everything. You know,
Well, yeah.
we're humans. We like to rethink our paths and how we would do things.
What school year do you think would be your most fun to relive through again?
Definitely, yeah, still 10th grade.
Fair.
Just because I have, that's the year everyone, hates our friend group. And we're
Yeah.
like we there's like a certain hierarchy, right? At least, normally the assholes are like the dumb ones,
Yeah.
but like we were both first in our class and we were just like kind of witty. So that's why
That's a
we were
very
just
nice way of saying
we were
things.
just smart asses a lot. And
Yeah,
that
that's
that was
that's
that was the fun part, is that it it's very narcissistic to say that it felt like we had some sort of superiority, but like that's
But
what it
like
felt like.
the grades don't lie.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that we would say then, and then they would just get upset about.
Or they're just like, okay, doesn't matter, or write you. Yeah. Well, I mean, the grades don't lie though. That's I rest
Yeah.
my case.
I mean, yeah. What about you? What would be your ideal year to relive?
Uh, Junior year. So yeah, the same time that you were in 10th grade, it would have been. I think I remember the book. It said that junior year is the best year. I think I
Yeah.
read that like a month into junior year. I was like, okay, all right, I'll try and see how well that holds true. Uh, yeah, for a good while, yeah, that was. I mean, that entire year I associate 2018 for me
Yeah.
being the best one. Uh, the first half of the school year of 2018, if I remember right, it was pretty fucking. It was solid. It was fun. Honestly,
Yeah. I mean,
best year of my life, though, would have to be last year by far.
fair. I mean, my junior year wasn't as fun. It's because I kind of like transferred. I'm sure it would be more fun if I stayed, but then again, the whole pandemic that wouldn't have changed at all. So
Yeah.
that would have been interesting to go through with NCA, but I don't know. I think it was better for me to, get an elevated education. And I think it would probably be more. I don't think we'd have a friend group if we tried to like keep it alive throughout NCA maybe, and then at the
Mhm.
very end.
Probably. I'm not sure because I mean, we'd have to hang out outside of
Yeah.
school as well as work, which I think wouldn't have been possible. I don't think we would have been able to actually, like ever.
Yeah. I mean, there was. That's why I was thinking. I mean, there was at the very least we had, at least for what we actually went through, is we just had a break from it, and
Yeah.
then break, from anything kind of causes like a longing, or like, okay, well, that would be fun to do again, or
Mm.
this, we can still do it. It just kind of, you know what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's kind of like, if you have a favorite food, you go a long time without it, then you're thinking about it, like, oh, that would be good. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know. I wishes I was. Wishes. I wish I was in high school and had done more dumb shit, or at least more of the things that I'm doing now, like like drugs. And this is my segue.
I don't think any of us would have been friends with you in high school if you did drugs.
Yeah, that's probably fair, but
Well,
I
I mean,
wouldn't.
I talked to Christian.
I mean,
Were
yeah,
you friends with him?
maybe I would have been the. All right, that's
if you
fair.
were if he was like Christian, then no, I
No,
wouldn't have
then
been
no,
friends with him.
it
But
would have been me still.
if he was the same, him that he was, then yeah. I mean,
It's all right.
I
It's
wouldn't
like
think
the
very
A lot of it was
highly of you,
making
but
fun of people that did stuff like that. And a lot of the things you do now,
yeah,
that's how a lot of the friendship worked, was just making fun of those people.
yeah, but like maybe I would be the okay. Well, I mean, it's fun to make joke. It's fun to joke about the dumbasses or the people that are really obvious or just the extreme examples, I guess. But I mean, on average, I think you could look at a fair amount of people in just your everyday life. Yeah, they've probably tried some substance or another, and they're normal. Bill
yeah.
Gates, he's on LSD, and he's normal. Well, I mean, maybe Epstein connections aside, but that's another
I
topic.
mean, as
Uh,
long as you aren't like overbearing about it, I'm sure it would have been. It wouldn't have been the same, but we still probably would have talked.
yeah. I mean that. I think that says more about you guys than it does about me. If it wouldn't have been the same, just because. I mean, that's hypocritical
Hmm.
thinking about how I was then, but looking at it now, I think that's so fucking stupid. I mean, I think for literally any substance, if you're a cracked out meth head and it's physically obvious and you're just all right, one, you're probably not the kind of person I'd be associating with. But I think most people, they've tried. Having done it, I
Yeah. I
guess
mean, if it was the same way,
familiarized myself.
because I think I really enjoyed the friendship because of pretentiousness of it. We're both reasonably educated.
Yeah,
I felt like I was because to me it's more fun to hang out with people that are, you know, that enjoy my presence and at the same time is at least equal or of higher intellect
Hmm.
than, you know, than if it were to be lower and then, you know, everything that they say, I kind of have to like push it down like that was a dumb fuck moment, but I can't say that because I'm going to offend them.
Why are you friends with me then?
No, that's a good question. No, I mean, I guess that could go both ways. Why are you friends with, you know, me to begin with?
Wasn't it because you were dating someone that Molly was friends with at the time? Or did you guys have a friendship before that?
It's
A
because
friendship. A friendship.
okay, so we had known each other since fourth grade. We were in the same class. We were the only two people from that class to switch over to the other side of the building,
Right.
the middle school, high school side. Um, and then we just kind of stuck together and we kept going into the same friend group pretty much.
Yeah, and some of it was just subconscious too. But I mean, it was at the same time, yeah, we kind of knew each other from, you know, that. We had a level of understanding or we knew each other, so.
And everyone else there kind of they were there. I didn't enjoy interacting with them that much, so
Yeah. Remember hanging out like I would, you know, middle school was just like a phase of jumping from friend group to friend group trying to see, you know, where I'm going to end up.
Mhm.
Every
what fits,
single
what doesn't fit.
Yeah, every single friend group I was in was interesting in its own way. Had its own
Yeah, that's
fun, you know, quirks.
hmm.
But I
No,
mean,
that's
yeah,
fair.
definitely wasn't as fun as the one I had in high school.
Same. I was the friend group that I originally had started middle school. Kinda yikes. And I mean, okay. Not absolutely terrible. I was a part of it. It had its moments, but it also wasn't that great. It was maybe I'm just looking at things with revisionist history now. Oh yeah, of course I made the right choice. I knew it was bad. I just didn't care. I doubt it, but I'm glad that I just because I decided to retake a math class that I think I kind of forced myself. Okay, these people are more fun, or this group in particular is more interesting. It's like you have a big friend group, and then you find the
Yeah.
actual friends later on, and then you just the group falls apart.
Yeah.
So speaking of groups falling apart, and why I mentioned LSD is shit. While you guys are talking, I've been preparing this LSD test kit. I bought it, I think, actually close to maybe a year ago. It was, oh, if I'm going to be doing drugs, I would like to practice drug safety for the most part. I don't want to blindly test products that I know nothing about, which I think is fair. It's a way to know that I'm not going to buy laced shit. I have yet to use, because I have been stupid about it. It's like, okay, someone else has taken it, so I mean, either we're both fine or we're both fucked. Uh, I
Yeah.
have a particular thing that I'm not going to name what it is, but context clues, you can guess it, that I am 99% sure they are duds and they do not work. So I want to test it and see if I'm actually been consuming what I was told I have, or if I've actually possibly been poisoning myself without even knowing it.
Interesting. Yeah,
Oh
Uh,
right
my
before we
god.
get into that, I'd like to answer the question from earlier. Why
yes.
is it called a mukbang?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
please
this is
take
from
that.
way early. So it's I guess etymology. The word mukbang, myeokbang, is portmanteau. Okay, so it's a piece of Korean language for eating, and broadcast, which is okay. So myeokbang is eating, and then, or I guess miangwen, I guess, uh, and then broadcast is bang song. So I mean, it's a Korean based word, I guess. And that makes sense because yeah, one of the first mukbangs that I saw from the H3H3 video was,
Mm.
I believe they were Korean, and then they were eating. All right, maybe this is going on into some territory. From what I saw, okay, I'm not amazing at deciphering race, but they looked Asian, and then they were eating like squid, and then some of it was like borderline animal abuse as well while they're eating it. It was
Fuck.
interesting. But yeah, so that's mukbang. That's what everyone wanted to know.
What the fuck?
So yeah, let's go to a more cheery topic. Let's see if you've been poisoned.
I'm trying to. So I thought I had the actual key with me that tells me if it's real or not.
Right.
Turns out I don't, so I have to re-find it online off this
Oh,
website. Also, something interesting. Apparently, these reagent test kits are good for 3 to 6 months. Uh,
good thing you're
so who knows?
using
This
it
might.
up then.
I mean, I think I bought it before that, but you know what? We're
Okay.
gonna we're gonna assume that it's in working condition still. Um,
Unless it says that you were poisoned, then we're just gonna say that it's not.
yeah. Well, I'm curious because okay, someone. I feel fine talking about this. I scammed someone. I asked shit. Drug dealing. It can be a giant Ponzi scheme sometimes, as in people give you fake shit, and you just have to like, what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna scam other people, or you're just gonna take the hit? I've decided I'm gonna stop getting scammed, so I'm just gonna if I get scammed, I'm scamming someone else. I made some money off of it. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, if they are duds, what are they gonna do about it? I guess it's still, I mean, scummy depending on who you do it to and the person you did it to. I don't really care.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, at the same time, like, what are you gonna call the cops?
yeah. All right, I think I found it. It
Wonderful.
says it may take up to 15 minutes to see if a color change depending upon the potency. For best results, use a white ceramic surface for testing. Okay, so we're gonna test this shit. Um, Once I get the test results, I'll talk a little bit more about the sciencey aspects of LSD because I can't talk about that.
This is actually perfect
But
timing, I guess. I mean, if we went by the schedule to begin with.
yeah, big changes coming to the podcast 2 weeks from now. You'll find out if you're listening to it.
Yeah. Well, it kind of it has similarities to the last or to the vintage podcast that we have or we used to do, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, if we were able to hold a conversation the way we did, for me, I wasn't looking at the schedule at all. So yeah, this is good practice, and yeah.
Fuck, I'm so confused by how this is supposed to actually.
Is it not a squeeze bottle?
No, it's glass.
Ew.
See, what you can do is tell the viewers whatever you want, and then you could say, "Well, I was poisoned," and then add drama, and then no matter what, they're gonna have to believe you.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have to.
Well, they don't have to, but I mean, what other proof do they have?
None.
Exactly.
latex gloves are highly recommended when handling kits. If irritation
God damn it!
receive medical attention immediately. That's good to know.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not
You
fucking
just
kidding you.
botched this test.
Only if I. That's I think more than I was supposed to. But you know what? Okay. We add it to the vial.
Woo.
Yeah, I don't.
We
Did you add too little?
No, I think I added maybe too much. So, great one, folks. I'm bad at testing my substances that I buy. Good to know that I actually never use this.
well, at least today has some good practice. At the
Maybe.
very least.
Oh, it's doing something.
Ooh.
So, okay. Looking at the color reaction card, if it's more on the yellowish or pale side of things, then it's nothing, I believe. If it's on the purple side of things, it is more.
Poison.
I think no, I think that means then it's like the actual product.
That's stupid. Purple means poison.
Purple means psychedelic. That means you're in
No.
the clear.
No, purple should mean poison.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like if you're playing a game, like purple is normally poison.
Oh, wait a minute. God damn it.
What?
I did do this wrong.
How?
What?
Well, it's okay. I got 3 more tabs to work. I got 3 more tabs. So the vial that I put it in, you're only supposed to use that for powdered substances such as DMT.
Jesus Christ.
Use a white ceramic surface for testing blotter or psilocybin. Cool. You know what? No, I don't want to grab ceramic, so I'm just going to use these these cards that you guys gave me.
Cards?
Actually, wait. Yeah, they
What?
gave you a little goodie bag of cards. It's just like business cards. It's nothing
Then
actually
you need
useful.
something like white
Oh.
for a background.
No, this should be opaque works. You can tell different colors on it.
What if it's like yellow?
Then that's, I think, not the actual product, I think. I'm so confused by how this glass vial is supposed to fucking work.
I don't even have like a description of the look. I don't even know what it looks like at all. So I mean, this is
I'll send you a
interesting to listen
picture.
to.
I know I'm bad at describing this, but that's because I'm trying to do it right now.
If we
So-
had viewers consistently, what I would do is forward the picture onto my Twitter, and then people would know what we're talking about. But
Okay, so it does work.
it's like the one useful thing Twitter is good for.
You don't like some of the, things that people say on Twitter?
Well, it's just generic political garbage. Like you see stuff, and then people, they're obviously just low intellect moments.
Okay. One small step for man. All right. I'm seeing it now. The liquid has come in contact with the paper. It has very small bubbling on it.
It looks foamy.
I can kind of see a yellow hue.
Yeah.
So what is it? Okay. Again, it's just giving me it might take like 15 minutes for it to fully digest.
Well, wonderful. I mean, I guess we
I'm
can
gonna
talk
be
about
yeah.
other stuff in the meantime, and then
Well,
we can
yeah.
go
Well, I
back
was
to
gonna
it.
quickly talk about. All right, fine. I can talk about it once I have the test results. If I
Oh, okay.
wasted, no, I've tried these before. If the ones I took were just pure duds, and all of these other ones are the working ones, I think that would actually be a good reason to kill myself. But hey, all right. Last talk about it before we get the actual test results. I've spent $200 on this shit, and I haven't gotten a single fucking thing out of it. So
You had the placebo effect.
I had a placebo that lasted like maybe 30 minutes, but you were here, so you could have just been the placebo. Anyhow, yeah, it's been great. I hate my job still. Okay, hate's a strong word. I really don't like my job. Uh, my vehicle, I got to get that. I had to get that fixed. It was a cheap fix. It was something with a mass airflow sensor. What?
Colored.
Oh, nice. Part of my hand is turning yellow.
Interesting.
It's only an issue if it starts to really burn or itch, and then I need to go to I need to receive medical attention immediately.
Do you think it would be a good idea to wash your hands, maybe?
Yeah.
But like it's probably already All right, fine. I'll be
Would you
back.
rather? Yeah. Would you rather do that or go to the ER?
I mean, hey, that would be fun. Live ER podcast.
Would you
moment.
actually take it on the
ERs
go?
aren't fun.
I've been there before. What? Oh yeah,
Would
no,
you
I
have-
take this on the go.
That's it.
Hey,
Okay.
I would have to. They'd. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, go wash your hands.
He's going to wash his hands.
Good. Although that would add for interesting content. Like, hey, why do you have your phone out like that? Oh, we're doing a podcast.
Live at the ER.
Yeah, I think this is a one-party state, so I mean, you would be like legally fine to do that. Maybe. I'm actually unsure on that.
Like, it might not be the best idea to do that.
I mean, I don't know how private they're expecting it to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's also like kind of a public space. I feel like you could probably legally do like if you're a reporter. I think you'd be fine.
And you probably would be.
Probably just like, you know, would make them uncomfortable.
Yeah. And be
If
like, are
they,
you sure
yeah.
you want to post this medical information online?
Well, I mean, some stuff you could just mute it. But yeah, I
True.
mean, we're going way into this universe where hopefully we won't have to, delve into. How about your job? Are you enjoying your job?
Yes and no. I mean, it's not great, but it's not the worst. I'd prefer it over a fast food place or any sort of food place or factory or construction. I don't know. The main thing that I don't like about my job is the people.
Interesting. Normally it's the other way around, where it's like I don't like the work, but I enjoy the people.
With the work I do,
You actually enjoy your job?
for the most part.
Weird.
Well, okay. What do you do? Give me a typical day.
Second sort clothing. So just recheck, make sure there's no stains or holes. Price.
Yeah.
That's pretty much most of my day. Otherwise, I guess shoes. I deal with shoes, stuffed animals, toys.
So you're just checking products and then checking people out and pricing products as
It's
well.
What do you mean you're checking people out?
Well,
sorry, buddy. No. Yeah, pretty much. But I have to keep other people busy a lot, which sometimes leads to me not having anything to do, which that's not fun.
so then
But
just
when I'm able to do
do
stuff and
everything
keep them
yourself.
busy. What?
Do everything yourself,
I
and then you're
can't.
happy and they're happy.
No.
Not really.
All right. It just sounds like such a boring job.
What do you mean
It's
no?
retail.
If they don't want to work and they just want to sit there and get paid, I mean, why don't you just work and then let them just sit around?
I don't think the people are just gonna want to sit. Most
Yeah,
of the
they're
people I work with are retired.
they're millennials and Gen Zs. I mean, they're gonna want to sit on their phone all day.
I work with one other person that's 18.
Are they on their
And
phone all day?
no,
That's
I just never
impossible.
speak to them. I
But
don't speak to them. I give them their jobs, and then that's about it.
okay, so you do speak to them, but it's like, professionally you communicate stuff.
Yeah.
I don't,
Um,
I mean, how do they like, don't they have like a set thing or stuff for them to do? Or do you have to tell them different tasks for each day?
okay, well, the other person that's my age works there 2 days a week. One day is Saturday, which I'm usually not there for. So I just write them a list of things that need to get done. And then when I am there, it's pretty much just price all this stuff. Once you're done with that, let me know and I'll get you something else to do.
So nothing is consistent then?
Not necessarily.
Why don't you have like set times to, you know, do certain things or just have a rotating list?
No.
Is that impossible?
Yes.
Why?
It's a thrift store for one.
Yeah, I mean, you can still
So,
have a rotating list. I'm sure like thrift stores like Goodwill has stuff like that.
Yeah, but like difference in scale. Small town thrift store versus a chain thrift store.
Right,
we're
but I
also
mean,
going to be
you have
getting more
this.
clients.
Yeah, if you have the same amount of employees.
They
Wait,
they they don't. They have like maybe 2 or 3 people
that work there
at your place. Yeah.
at the place.
Well, then you can still
Um,
rotate it,
hold
can't
on.
you? Just have like
One,
everyone just
two,
has an
three,
increased
four,
workload.
five, 7.
At a time.
Not at a time.
Yeah, I'm asking
but
how many people do you how many people have to operate your store?
2.
All right.
That's the only 2 people that need to be there at all times, for sure.
How much people are there in a typical day?
Let me break it down to you.
Yeah, please.
Mondays, there's 2 people there all day, plus a client that's there for almost the entire day. And then there are 3 other people that are there that work like half the day.
So, okay. The clients, I know you've said that you have to tell them what to do. The other people, are you in charge of them as well?
The people on Monday, no. They have their shit they do. I'm Gucci gang.
Mhm.
Uh, Tuesdays, Carrie's coming back. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 normally. Unless my mom decides to hop on over to Dassel instead of oops, I gave location. Uh Hop on over to the town that I work at instead of the other one that she manages. Um but pretty much 3 people there all day.
Mhm.
Again, normally pretty Gucci with that stuff. Wednesdays, 4 people are supposed to be there all day, plus a client that is there all day. Um, with that, it's mainly just, again, keeping the client busy.
Mm.
Okay, so for everyone else, you have like a rotating schedule or stuff that like they know they have to
Yeah.
do. You don't have to like
I mean,
dictate their work.
okay, so for the people that are there that I don't have to deal with, have been there since like the beginning of it. This place has been open for close to 10 years. Um, Most of them have been there pretty much 10 years. So they know what to do. They stay in the back and do what they do. They hardly ever get the register.
Okay, so it's just like normally 1 or 2 people you have to tell per day what to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's not horrible then.
No, it's just sometimes the people in the back steal jobs that are supposed to be the front jobs.
Tell them to stop that sound.
I would love to, but they don't listen to me.
Then tell them that, all right, you can find another place to work at.
There's one time that I tried to tell one of the employees something about they wanted to get swimsuits out.
Yeah.
It's January. I'm like, that's a little early. Maybe wait a little bit. People are just getting back from vacation from like winter. So if you wanted to get them out earlier, then yeah, because people go on vacation around Christmas and holidays and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Why not wait a bit longer until like spring break season?
Yeah.
And she was just like, no, that's just how we've always done it. So we're sticking to it.
You are technically her senior. Or, no, not senior. You out.
Higher.
Yeah. Use that. Put your foot down. Tell them, okay, well, I like your idea. I'll take it into consideration. But we're doing it like this.
No, old is gold though.
No, okay. All right, my experience with people at McDonald's having to, or I'm sorry, I'll let you finish.
And then my mother and I, we were gone one day because we had to work a Saturday. So we had the same day off. She decided to put it out the day that we weren't there. So we couldn't have any say in it, pretty much. She was able to just do it.
All right, again, that's her going deliberately behind your back. Put that shit in the fucking ground. Anytime anyone ever tried anything like that, doing something at McDonald's, there wasn't a whole lot of that. It was okay. Usually, like if I'm asking you to do something, it is something really simple. It's not like a creative. Like, I personally think we should only have like everyone operated on the same playing field at McDonald's. Like, okay, we need this amount of product in at all times, bare minimum. The only ever difference is when it would be like, hey, I think you should have more because we're taking a lot, or you need to get down more, or you need to stop putting as much down because we're not as slow or not as busy as you think we are. The example that comes to mind is like we had a lot of I think filet at one point. It happens a lot at McDonald's, which is why the filet fish always tastes so bad, is they put too much in. But I was telling people, hey, like 2 or 3 in at most, otherwise stop making so fucking many. Stop doing it. Eventually, it just got to the point where instead of telling them because they kept on doing it, I walked in the kitchen, I grabbed the fresh, it was fresh food, but they had made 8 of them. I grabbed 6 of them and tossed them in the garbage to illustrate the point. I will waste this food now because it's going to get wasted later. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
You're I am I understand that you are concerned that maybe a person will come through and order 10 filet of fish sandwiches,
Who would do that?
but if someone is asking for something that specific or looking for something that specific, they will have to deal with it or they will have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That we It makes no sense for us to cater to such a small amount of people that might possibly come by.
So often, yeah. I mean, I remember people doing that at Burger King. When I worked there, yeah. I mean, they would just have so much. I mean, and I'm actually a pro a problem with that as well. I mean, I participated in that only in the fact that we were so understaffed. So if we got all of a sudden, I mean, it wasn't. I didn't like prepare for the obscure orders because the obscure orders, and I just that's their problem. But if it's
Yeah.
there's a recommended amount of chicken or shit you make it that's at a time.
Hmm.
I just overdo it, and then it would end up being, the right amount or just a little over
Hmm.
what that rush was. But I
I
mean,
mean, if it works out, then that's great. But
yeah, but when
typically,
it's like, obscure, I remember like I don't even remember making much. Like I think there's a recommended amount of fish we did, and I think I did like below that because of how little people ordered that.
yeah. I mean, when it's busy, I'm fine with it. Like you do more than you actually need to some extent. That's
Right.
fine. You pay attention to what typical items commonly are, and you account for that. You
Right.
don't account for the item that's ordered the least. It's just so what I would tell that person, this is why I wish I could live other people's lives sometimes, just so I could experience these situations, so I can. Anyhow, yeah, basically, yeah, exert rank in a
Yeah.
polite, but also I'm drawing the line. You are going to listen to what I say. I don't care what if you've been here longer than I have. I don't care about that. Your job is to do what I think is best. It's a cunt thing to do to people that you're friends with, no doubt. But
Yeah.
to people that you are coworkers with, it's fair game. It is a professional relationship,
Yeah.
and they're being unprofessional.
Well, even if like they're friends, even if it's like some guy who's just like super like slacking off a lot, and then like you have, let's say like you're working at like some fucking yeah,
Yeah,
let's like a paper making company. All right, we'll go the office on this one. All right, they're
yeah.
not like talking to their clients at
The
all.
Office.
Yeah,
You can't just declare bankruptcy. No.
Jesus
It's
Christ. All right. You can't like they're not like talking to their clients, they're not actually doing their work. And
mhm.
like you're best buds with this guy, but he's like not doing fucking jack shit. Like you still got to like talk to them. Like even so like my level of thinking is that you start off polite and then as they listen to you less, the more you increase that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I That's fair. It's a professional way to deal with it. It was always harder with people that I knew. I know in particular, like Isaac, for example, he was a bit of a cunt to work with sometimes, just because he'd bitch and not do things unless he got his way, and he'd always just I don't know. There's only between like all the managers there. My roommate was the only one he ever ended up listening to for the most part. Myself or my other friend at the time, Jaden, you just always kind of disregard us. It
Well, that's another like really tough thing with friends that work there because it's like, well, you're you're a friend in my mind. If I disregard what you say, it's going to be less intense if it were someone I didn't know.
yeah,
So like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. What are you gonna do about it?
it was fucking annoying when he did it, but good thing that he got fired.
Jesus.
He doesn't like the place anyway. It was a good decision in the long
Okay.
run for him.
Yeah.
Uh, so okay, to bring it back, actually to bring it back to two things. One, to answer our trivia for the night.
Yes.
That concert, Monsters of Rock in 1991, the confirmed amount of people was 500,000 people, definitely more, but that's a safe estimate. A lot of places also put it at 1.6 million people. If you're going to believe the hyperbole, uh, just imagine 1.6 million people standing shoulder to shoulder, all attending the same concert, moshing, headbanging. I remember seeing videos of that concert even. Soviet guards, they were beating people because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. People were, moshing. That's not what the USSR was familiar with, as well as choppers
They're
flying
not used
really,
to people having fun.
yeah, basically. There were choppers flying really low to the ground, and people were grabbing onto it for some reason. What if you managed to tip it over? What then? Do you realize something like you just killed at least like probably 40, maybe 50, probably a couple hundred or so if it explodes just because you're pulling a helicopter down? I
Well, you're
don't
pulling
understand.
it hell. I mean, depending on where the angle is at. I mean, the blazer's still gonna turn until like it breaks. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't understand. It was fucking wild. I mean, I only ever watched the Metallica and Pantera part of that concert
it was
because
wild. You were there.
oh yeah, it was fucking great. Um, the performances were spectacular, probably the best they've ever been on stage. It's just like a different. I don't know if you guys watch live performances of musicians often, but you can tell when they're just at their peak in their career at some points, and that
Yeah.
concert was Metallica and Pantera at their peak by far.
The only concert I really cared to go to was a Smashing Pumpkins concert.
How was that?
It wasn't bad. It was like obviously again it was the first concert I went to where I listened to the music before, and then I listened to them. I didn't realize that I mean it's pretty obvious, but I didn't realize that it was gonna sound different. Where like they're not gonna be as perfect as they are in the studio.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It took me a while to start to like live concerts, but the moment like you find a really good live concert, it it can be so much more free flowing. The mistakes are better, the improvisations can be better.
Yeah.
Uh, I know one of the best examples, I mean, with Metallica in particular, the vocal aggressiveness of the front man at the time was better. The improvisations they did to interact with the crowd, backing vocals as well. You don't get that on studio recording. It's nice
Yeah.
and crisp, and you get like the full picture. But the energy from a live crowd feeding into your performance as well, it elevates you when
Yeah.
you have possibly 1.5 million people all like cheering and fucking in a sense it could look like they're almost bowing if they're all headbanging to some extent. Just that, I don't know, crowd.
They're appeasing to you.
Yeah, they're all enjoying what you're doing. Like imagine if the play that we did, 1.6 million people. How do you think that would change it?
I mean, obviously, we'd enjoy it. Imagine if it was like 1.6 million and the the line you said, got like 70% of the crowd to laugh.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
It would be such a I would
It'd be
start to
gratifying.
that beyond I would feel like a god. Alright? When you have that
Exactly.
many people, even just like the slightest amount of positive reinforcement,
Yeah.
that has to trigger something primal in the human brain of that no one else has ever experienced this. This is like This is a high that no one else will ever achieve. Speaking
Sure.
of high,
Yeah. I'm
it's been
sure we're dying to know.
oh yeah. So from what I can tell, it's dubs. They're not
Wonderful.
doing.
So it doesn't necessarily mean you're a poison.
No, not always. It's not like okay. There's a
It
difference
just means
between
that
duds and
it just
laced.
it just means that
How do
it
you
was
tell the difference?
it just wasn't what it was.
How do you tell the difference?
Yeah,
What
for
do
the
you
testing kit thing.
if it's a dud or a laced?
Hmm.
You don't. You just tell if it's a dud, and then from there you can make the assumption. Okay, well, it
Draw
either
conclusions. Yeah.
yeah, you know it's either not going to do anything, but it's not what you want, or it could potentially fuck you over.
I
The
mean,
interest,
yeah, I mean you didn't get poisoned from it, so
like I was trying to think after taking the tabs and there being no experience with them, I was trying to think, am I feeling anything like at all, even the day after? I remember for a while, like I think it might have just been around the time I was quitting nicotine, so I could blame it on that. But I just felt off. It was a while ago. I don't remember how to explain it, but I don't know what it was.
might
I'm
have
not
been
sure if
placebo, might have been the nicotine.
it could have been anything. I have no idea. But I mean, it's good to know that I didn't poison myself probably
Yeah.
inadvertently with something. It's just I got scammed out of $200. But you know, part of me wishes I almost got poisoned because at least that'd be an interesting story to tell.
Life just keeps going on.
For now, yeah.
All right, so should we take a break with advertisements and return with whatever the fuck we want?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. It's time for me to go to the Just Me chat that I created so nobody pops in like last time.
I mean, he did save it.
And this time we're going to do a mail order brides. That was a advertisement that was made like 2 weeks ago. So we can finally do it. I figured it out.
Nice.
So, yeah.
According to a report done by Harvard, 36% of all Americans feel lonely, with the majority of that number being teenagers or young adults. How do we fix this, you ask? Well, look no further than Carter's cute mail-order brides. Due to a large number of complaints implying that we don't care about the other half of the population, according to order brides, get it? Currently, we only have male selections from Eastern European countries, but I'm sure governments will. According to a report done by Harvard, 36% of all Americans feel lonely, with the majority of that number being teenagers or young adults. How do we fix this, you ask? Well, look no further than Carter's cute mail-order brides. Due to a large number of complaints implying that we don't care about the other half of the population, we now offer mail-order brides. Get it? Currently, we only have male selections from Eastern European countries, but I'm sure governments will allow us access here soon enough, because the world is really looking at our company. We even have requests from FBI and CIA agents. Isn't that great? Our mission statement is to help everyone across the globe feel less lonely by providing someone that can be sweet and special just for you. Disclaimer, do not ask where we acquired our brides. We will not disclose this information. Do not ask the brides about their former life. They've been trained not to talk about it. Do not abuse the brides. Many of them seem to know martial arts for some reason. If you are a high-profile member of society, we will not accept any order you place. Well, hello.
Ah, shoot, my earbuds.
How'd
Yet
it go?
another part I'm going to have to cut out.
Oh, nice.
I was going to spam in a different channel, but then I remembered that like you have to be in that channel to listen to the thing, so I just kind of had to restart it. But that'll be fine.
Nice.
I'll just remember that it was like around 58 minutes in.
Yeah. Something like that, I think.
No, I literally have the timestamp here. It's wonderful. A very
Something-
convenient piece, and I really enjoy Dominic Riggs. Yeah, he said vum.ong. So,
wonderful.
Thank you for being part of the podcast. And yeah.
Yeah, Dominic Riggs. Are you related to Murtaugh Riggs? That'd be cool.
Who is that?
From Lethal Weapon.
Maybe I need to actually watch that. I keep talking about it.
Maybe you should. It's great. Imagine you buy something that you're excited for, that you know could possibly lead to some of your something that you could possibly classify as the best day of your life. I feel like these people They shouldn't be put in jail because of what they're distributing, but because of what they're promising and then failing to deliver upon. It's illegal for investors to do that. For
Investors to do what?
or not investors, I guess. Businesses to
Businesses to investors.
yeah, like Theranos, for example. They
Yeah.
promised the Edison. It was a great machine. Could have revolutionized the medical field tremendously. It was a dud. It didn't do shit. It was a bogus machine. And they got criminally charged. I mean, that for various reasons. They're promising a false product, and it's
I
not
wish
angering. It's just disappointing. It is angering. It's actually beyond fucking angering. But you know what? I'm a cool guy. All right. I rein in my anger.
we're cool, dude.
Are you sure about that?
I've had so much time to process my anger that I feel cold rage. I don't feel fiery hot
I'm actually looking forward to
rage.
spring break.
Why is
we can
that?
actually walk instead of like having to be like cold,
Yeah.
or at least in Molly's case. I mean, we can actually like do stuff besides driving around town.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun to be able to walk around again.
I want to walk around.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Not when it's cold.
When it's cold, it's so beautiful outside, though. Depending on the day.
No.
I mean, it can look nice out, yeah.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I disagree. I don't like the way snow looks.
Why not?
Disgusting.
Why?
Why do you find it beautiful?
No, you're the one making the claim here. The defendant goes first.
The burden of proof is on you.
I just don't like it.
Why?
It's because she is a very thoughtful person and she doesn't like when everything is whitewashed.
Is that why?
Yeah.
What else?
It's just annoying and stupid.
Why?
Okay, so the same reason you don't like snow is the same reason I don't like NFTs. That's interesting.
Well, NFTs are actually useful.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just as useful as like Bitcoin, I guess.
Which, I mean, 44. Okay, maybe not 44. How valuable is Bitcoin?
I don't know. I mean, very valuable for one singular.
$39,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. One Bitcoin worth about that much? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
We could buy one Bitcoin. Just one.
One.
Yeah.
Can we just have like the OPP Bitcoin? Have
I
that,
mean,
like, you know how some businesses have like the dollar in a frame? We just have like a printed out like statement that we own a Bitcoin instead.
Yeah, we could say that, yeah, we own a Bitcoin to other businesses so they believe that we have way more money, so we get them. See, that's how you get money. Yeah, that's how Wall Street, that's how Silicon Valley does it. You just lie to everyone to get money.
Yeah, it's like those get rich quick videos. Like, I'm rich, here's how to get rich. But the thing that they're offering is the way for them to get rich. So they're not yet rich, but you're going to make them rich.
I know, we could make our own cryptocurrency. OPP coin.
That would be fucking vile.
It'd be great. We could have merch.
Philemon coin.
Yeah.
Philemon coin.
Filament coin. Yeah, I mean, it's, digitized C-glass, basically.
Yeah. We could be
Nice.
like that could be like the only way to buy games.
That'd be awful.
Exactly.
That reminds
It's
me
like
of
how
that
they were gonna have Dogecoin. You can use that to buy
Yeah.
Teslas.
Yeah. That reminds me of that It's Always Sunny episode where they try and come up with their own currency, but they just end up giving away free beer.
Yeah.
They didn't understand.
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, no, I couldn't imagine that universe though. Like you have the Dogecoin to buy Teslas. Like
I think that could be fun.
just for the past week, Dogecoin has gone up and down constantly, 5%. It fluctuates way too much. It's way too much of an unstable currency.
I like that.
And that's the problem with most crypto coins. It's just so unstable and so
Yeah.
uncertain. So that's why it's really hard to do it as a standard.
Well, I mean, unless you're like the really big ones. I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I mean, you can call it unstable, but the fact remains that even if Bitcoin lost a fuck ton of money not too long ago, it's still
Yeah.
like $39,000 for one.
Yeah, I mean it's worth a lot. I mean, if it would be a way to,
Holy
this, I know nothing about what we're saying, so I wish I did. I wish I could take like an economy
I found
class.
Dogecoin. All right, it's worth 0.14 USD.
Yeah,
Where's Ethereum at? I know that one's probably honestly more popular. Wait, $28, really?
I still own a Dogecoin, and
Why?
I own a few of them from when it was big, and when I invested into it like a couple months before it went up, like to almost $1, and then I think I put like $5 into it, and then I ended up getting a $55 profit.
Damn.
You could have been a millionaire.
I could have put so much money into that if I knew what was going to happen. But I mean, I still got you know $55 or $60 out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I still won. That
You
was
did.
that was George Costanza moment.
Yeah, it's just been on a massive downward spiral for the past few days. I mean, looking at the
Oh,
past
it's
month, at the height, it was 0.16. Let's look at 6 months. I mean, even for the past 6 months, it's been.
oh no,
Where's.
it's been fucking awful. It's probably gonna go back to its .003, whatever the fuck.
All right, the height of Dogecoin was April 30th, 2021.
Yep. I think that's probably like at the same time I messaged you guys too.
Actually, wait, no, it was May
It
7th.
didn't even go up to $1, but I still like got a lot of money from it.
No, the height was May 7th, $0.64. Or
0.64. That was the height. Yeah.
that's
I
not too
think
bad.
I deposited it when it was at like um probably around 57, maybe
Yeah,
lower 60s. But
it's
yeah,
still.
it wasn't the absolute height, but I got like pretty fucking close, which
Yeah,
is the best you can do.
that's. Okay, so the height of Bitcoin was $64,000 November 12th last year, which is insane that it was that valuable.
Jesus Christ.
It's during the start of the pandemic is really when the value of Bitcoin took off tremendously. I mean, it was already very, I think, or wait, let me just try and find a timeline here. All right, so even before, it was like January 8th, it was about $40,000. Wait, no, that's 2021. Shit. COVID started in 2020. I'm fucking stupid.
I mean, it's hard to believe that it was like 2 fucking years ago.
Yeah. Okay, I lied. At around the very start of COVID, Bitcoin initially took a pretty big nosedive, and then it bounced back harder than ever, and it became Icarus.
Jesus.
Well, okay, Icarus in subjective terms. I mean, even at its current value, it's only $39,000 for one. You can't make money off of Bitcoin, I feel.
You
Okay,
know
I'm
what
not.
I you know what I regret?
Hmm.
I think I bought Ford when it was at like $4. Yeah, it was like
What's
at its lowest. It was like at like, $4 or $5.
it's
And
at
then
18 now, not bad.
yeah, it's not horrible. I mean, I still would have it would have been a huge payday, but I still would have gotten more. I also got like this company called Schlumberger. I got a free one from them, and I think I pulled it out when I was like at 27, around 30. But it's at like $40 right now.
Interesting. Let's look at Tesla. $856. That's cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know buy Tesla coin or Tesla fucking
yeah,
invest in
yeah,
the
Tesla coin.
Tesla coin. Maybe I just said something from the future. Maybe that's gonna come.
Everything is a coin. All right, we got Nocam coin. We got Amadeus Kyouma coin. We got GymBagBob coin. We got Holy Turtle. Oh wait, not real. Not
He
real.
wouldn't get on the bandwagon. He'd see what we're doing and say that we're stupid, but we're really going across. We're just the outsiders, all right?
I like to keep all of my money in person because that way I know I have it. No,
Yeah, I don't trust banks, man.
I mean, that's fair,
Yeah.
honestly. I don't.
That's why you need to choose a credit union.
I did.
Yeah. Still like probably similar to banks though.
I mean, yeah, you're getting fucked by someone no matter what you do in life. It's
Yeah.
just, make sure you're getting fucked by a good person. So speaking with
Make
that, how's
sure
your
you're
relationship been going, Jason?
getting fucked by a relatively better. I mean, it's like yeah, it's like Adolf Hitler and Stalin. Like you kind of like no one is like both of them are bad people. You kind of like have to decide for yourself who's the better person.
Who
And
would
you
you
can't
rather
say
get?
that. You can't say that without getting canceled.
Who would
You'd
you rather
rather
get fucked by, Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin?
I lack the history courses for Stalin. Like I
Yeah,
know more about what Hitler did than what Joseph. I mean, I know some stuff that was going on, like gulags and sketchy shit, but still.
I mean, think about it. You're a civilian, World War II time Russian civilian. You get drafted. You're fucked.
Yeah,
You're fodder. You're fodder to delay the Nazi invasion up until winter.
you're just a
Eh,
pawn.
Yeah. I mean, okay, well, that's all soldiers. Let's be real.
That's why.
That's all soldiers, is it not?
Yeah, I mean that's like mainly that's like frontline soldiers. Yeah, special operations and whatnot. Those are like the knights.
The White Knights? Yeah, the Knights. Yeah, it's modern day
Yeah,
Knights basically.
yeah,
They have the I don't know. I mean, we still have our kings. We in essence do president,
yeah,
prime minister, minister of what? Or what do you ministry?
yeah. But like they're also outranked by the king. So I
The
mean,
the president is outranked by the king.
the prime minister is outranked by the king.
I thought like looking at British people for an example, isn't the monarchy just what's the word like for show?
Is it for show now?
I thought it was. It's just kind of like it's there, Parliament's there, and it's the royal family, and ooh, we're royalty. But like you don't actually have any say on the country's future.
Does the king
It's the Queen,
outrank?
Queen Elizabeth, bitch, and she has a COVID, if I remember
I'm just
seeing.
gonna say, yeah, that's we're in some dark times. Pending World War III, the
I'm excited.
Queen's health condition.
I hope the Queen dies.
Jesus
Why?
Christ.
I want to be alive. I want to be there. Read the news article. The Queen died. I can
What the
say.
fuck?
I mean, obviously you will be.
Yeah, you will
Well,
be, but I wouldn't
who
wish
knows?
it.
All right.
Why would you
who
wish
knows?
that?
Because I want to make sure before I die.
The fuck?
Well, all the jokes
Before
about
you-
how she lives forever. Okay.
Before you get drafted?
I'm not. You ever heard of this phrase called "dodge the truck"?
Draft dodger.
Yeah.
You just say
Yeah.
like, unfortunately, I came down with a bad case of the shin splits.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
Does the king outrank the prime minister?
There was no king in Britain, but okay.
There will be.
Oh yeah. You gonna marry into the royal family? You're gonna be
Yeah.
marry Queen Elizabeth? She's like what, 90 something?
The Queen remains the head of the British state, the highest representative of the United Kingdom on the national and international stage. The head of the British government, however, is the Prime Minister. What one serves as a symbol of the country and the other serves as a chief. So it is just for show.
Yeah.
The fuck? So like they say that they're the head of the British state, but they don't do anything.
No, they're just a figurehead. They're just a piece. What?
So it's like the
Oh.
president.
Hey, speaking of presidents, I had a great idea last night. I want to run for mayor. I could.
That was that was your idea.
What? Yeah, it is my idea.
I told you a couple days ago on over chat. Like, why don't you just run for mayor then?
I don't remember this.
You were talking about the mayor and like defaming him, going all
Oh, yeah,
Alex
that's right.
Jones.
Yeah, that's great. It's been subconscious in my mind. I had this whole planned out conversation with Molly last night when we were at dinner, Well, what would it be like if I was the mayor of Hutchinson? I could. You can register. I'm pretty sure it is this year.
Yeah.
Registering is free. I know who my opponent would be, Gary Forseer. I could just make his name is Gary. I would know how to appeal to people. I'd have a great campaign trail. I could look up the problems with
Dude, you'd be
Hutchinson.
super good at being a conservative figurehead.
No,
You'd have to appeal to them.
no, I would. I was thinking about it. If I was going to do it genuinely, what would I do? I wouldn't choose either party. I would run as independent, and I would explain thoroughly how dumb the two-party system is. So I would refuse to do it.
But I mean, you have to play the game. I mean,
No, I'll
could
change
you?
the game.
Could you? Is there a way for you to run as a conservative at first, and then all of a sudden just change your party mid? Like you
You
kind
know-
of like lied. Like all of a sudden you become a liberal. I'm
That
sure
would
there's
be-
some stuff that you have to like come out like with your promises, but I mean, what are your repercussions for that?
Nothing, because it
Exactly.
never is. Yeah, okay. If I wanted to be more Machiavellian about things, that's what I would do. But I mean, I was genuinely thinking, what the fuck would that job be like? What would my days be like? How much would I abuse my power? I would. How would I interact with McDonald's? The mayor of Hutchinson is banned from McDonald's. Oh, really? You're gonna call the police on the mayor? Oh, really?
Smear campaign.
I think I could do it interesting. And I
Get
was
that
also
McDonald's out of town and get a new one in, just so you can go to McDonald's.
Yeah, just basically like zoning issues, like split it in half. Well,
Yeah.
technically it belongs to two different zones, and each zone carries its own fee. And this is prime real estate right here, so the fees are
Yeah.
exorbitant. So like, money. That'd be pretty funny. I was also thinking, okay, realistically, what am I, as statistically improbable as it would ever be, what are my chances of getting the highest position of power I could reasonably but unreasonably get? Basically, what would I do if I became governor of Minnesota?
I mean, you have to figure out like what you can and can't do. I mean, what does the governor do compared to, the mayor?
Well,
I mean,
I was yawning, cunt. From what I can understand, it is just basically, it's like when you go from Legos to building blocks. You just get bigger pieces, you get bigger budgets, you get
Yeah.
bigger numbers, you get more people
what
to
if
account
what
for.
if the mayor tries to smear campaign with you and then kind of like pulls stuff from the podcast?
We talked.
I mentioned that.
I said that I could debate literally anything aside from maybe some things, some obvious jokes about like this thing called a five-finger discount. It's a character, obviously, that I play.
Yeah,
But like
Alex Jones it. Yeah.
yeah, well, Alex Jones isn't a character; he's real.
Well, Alex Jones said that he was playing a character in court when he was trying to get his kids back.
My God.
It's pretty cool. Hey, did it work for him?
I don't think it did.
Well, then why would I do that? I
mean, it works for different people. I mean,
look, no one's gonna sit through and watch it. All right, I'll use the fact that no one can stand listening to us talk for more than 30 minutes to my advantage on the campaign trail. All right,
Yeah.
I would. No, I'd talk about current political climate in the town I live in. If this
Yeah.
podcast, I would advertise it.
Can I be your campaign manager?
Well, yeah, both you and Molly would be my campaign
I'd edit
manager.
the shit out of your campaigns. I'd like make it all meme-ish, make it like Donald Trump tier.
Yep, that's what it would appeal to a lot of
The younger.
mhm.
Yeah.
My
Make
campaign
the younger
strategy
people want to vote, and then
for the
make-
older people, I would hold press conferences, I would hold rallies, I would
Yeah.
visit restaurants, and I would make speeches. All right,
Exactly.
I
You have to
um,
become like the celebrity in the town.
I could easily do it. I would convince, or I'd basically be any teacher at NCA. They would have to vote for me because then it'd be their one claim to fame.
Yeah. Like, hey, we had the mayor here.
Yeah. And then I could make a decree that it's called student council president. I would visit the school and just
much-
laugh at that.
How much money would you make even?
Possibly $35,000 up to $200,000.
You actually looked into it.
Yeah, because I thought mayors were unpaid at first. You didn't get paid for it.
Which is what led to this once you found out the pay.
But yeah, if you get money for just like lying to people, I mean, who wouldn't want to try that?
Yeah, fair. Fuck, I mean, yeah, if I'm there for the summer,
The elections would be in
100%.
November or October.
I mean, it would just give us more time to prepare. I mean, but at the same time, wouldn't you want to start your campaign
Campaign
like,
early.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably would.
Is there an age you have to be for mayor?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
like 18.
I
All
know you
three
have
of
to
us
be.
run.
I know you have to be 35 to be president, but
Yeah, I think you have to just be 18 for state.
fuck. All right,
Common
governor's
requirements
25.
common requirements include being at least 18 years old,
I'm reading
having
the
an
same thing
address
you are.
in the
Yeah.
town or the city you want to become mayor
All right.
of, and being a registered voter.
Keep in mind you're reading a WikiHow article, so
Yeah, okay. I didn't even realize that. Find how to run for mayor. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of like 18-year-olds elected though. I mean, here, let's go to the state. Right.
You're 20. You would be 21 by the time
yeah,
it'd be. So wouldn't that still?
it should work.
Yeah.
Shit, I turned 21 this year. I keep on forgetting.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Lower house. Minnesota? What does the lower house mean?
I don't know. That's really
Right.
weird phrasing.
Oh, that's the representatives is the lower house. Okay, House of Representative. Okay. You have to be in Minnesota. Where is that? Minnesota. Lower house you have to be 21 for.
Okay, that works. Then.
You can run for.
But yeah, you could still run. I'd assume.
25 for
Yeah.
governor, 21, 21, 25 for
If you
lieutenant
have to be
governor.
21, I mean, for the lower, or if the minimum for a lower house is 21, and mayor is a less intense position than I'd assume, it's either going to be lower or at the same. So
Yeah.
I think either way, you're fine.
Nice. So yeah, expect the campaign to happen. Hey, I like how when I'm talking about politics, we get Russian bots popping in.
Yeah, they're just trying to deter. What are you going to do about the Russian and Ukraine situation as mayor of a rural town in
I'm
a
glad
Midwestern
you asked.
state?
I'm very glad you asked that question. I have a very detailed response. So, how much does the Earth cost?
It's infinite.
But
You
like,
could,
how do we measure that?
I mean, it could be it's invaluable. You can't like buy a planet.
Why not? You can buy a star.
You can't.
Yeah, you
Internet.
can.
You literally can't.
You
can buy-
literally can.
You literally. I mean, individuals maybe not like not declare it as like countries.
You could buy a star though.
Well, an individual can. And then I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Yes, you can.
All right. I was quoting Kanye West interview with Joe Rogan when I said how much does the Earth cost, but now I want to look up. Did someone steal from your local Walgreens? Is that why I hear sirens?
I couldn't make out what emergency service it was. It was like a truck, but it was like extended.
Okay. International Star Registry. The fuck, this website really was from the 90s.
Yeah, it's like you can buy lots from the moon, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you own them.
Well, why not? Why don't I own it?
I mean, entities can't own things.
So we don't own.
I mean, it's technically a loophole, but nobody's gonna listen to you.
Like, do you own the money you have in your bank account, even if you don't physically own it?
Yeah,
Okay. Why is
you
that?
just don't own the physical, piece of the planet, or a star.
What does it mean to physically own something? Like people that have
Own something that is physical.
it's a difference between like liquid assets or uh I'm forgetting what the other is, but liquid assets are basically like what you technically own all, but then there's like your what you actually can make profit off of or sell straight away for
Yeah.
profit. The
Look, all I
concept.
know is the International Space Treaty, which doesn't allow any like entity or country to own, anything off-worldly.
I thought that just applied to like satellite space or basically our atmosphere or
No, that
any
applies to
orbit.
like the moon, so or like Mars, so like you can't own like a planet. Like the U.S. can't claim the moon, even though we
Well,
went
yeah.
there. We're the only ones physically there, but
I mean that makes sense, but like other planets, once society gets settled in on it, there's going to be clamations of land.
yeah, I mean it will eventually. Eventually, even with moon bases as well. I mean, we can own parts of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I don't know. I didn't even read that treaty, but I mean, I
No, I know what
bet.
you're talking
I
about.
mean,
Yeah.
definitely everything that was made. Any law that is made, or I guess any treaty that is written has, no matter what, has temporary value because eventually society is going to move on beyond that point, and then we're going to have to write our own rules from there.
Yeah. No, so from what I can find, a star can cost anywhere from 20 to $100. So I can. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
So yes, I am tying this into the Russia. So what we would
Yeah.
do is we'd own all of space. You know, use the budget that I'd be elected with to manage because this city loves to spend its money poorly.
Yeah.
Do you know that tunnel near Burger King that like
Yeah.
people can bike through? So few people use it. Do you know how much that take a guess on how much that
The fuck!
costs?
I love that tunnel.
All right, that's great that you love it.
All
How
right.
often do you think people use it?
Probably $100,000. Probably costs
Go a bit more.
350 grand.
A bit more.
820,000.
All right, a bit less.
640,000.
$500,000.
Half. Okay. I mean,
For
that's pretty typical for government costs.
all
Yeah.
right, and this is I think from what I remember hearing a few years ago. So honestly, yeah, you're probably more right, like 600 grand or so something.
Yeah.
Inflation,
I mean,
ridiculous.
that's yeah, politics for you. I mean,
All
that's
right,
why do you think that conservatards or I guess independents like things be privatized? Things get done quicker and things get cheaper, but at the same time, you don't have government regulation. It's gonna be built like shit. Yeah.
basically, my plan is with all the money that I'd have at my fingertips, I would buy the you know large portions of the galaxy. I'd rent it out to the inhabitants of Ukraine
Fuck.
at low cost, and I
How
think
would you?
I've
How would you
diplomatically solved
own?
the issue.
How would you own gaps of the vacuum of space?
Well, I don't need to own it. It's like when you're traveling across the ocean, you don't need to own the ocean to travel across it.
Yeah. You can't own like pieces of the ocean either.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not owning the ocean. I'm owning the countries, the planets, the stars.
So what are you gonna use it for?
Well, that's like I've said. I'm renting it out to the citizens of Crimea, Ukraine,
Why?
as
Why
a
the
large.
fuck? What would that help them with?
Well, they wouldn't have to, deal with the Russian conquerors or invaders. They would be safely out of harm's way.
Would you just go to the star,
Yeah, I'd
which
rent.
may or
Okay,
may not have a livable planet on? Yeah.
all right. Look, I'll rent it out to them. They can pay utilities. They can figure out their internet connection. All right. They can figure out how to get there. I can rent it out to them at a pretty good price, though. No one else is going to cut them as good of a deal as I will.
See, what's interesting though is that you're gonna have to like because nobody wants war. I mean, you're gonna
Well, no.
have to like how are you gonna end the war there?
Well, okay. The reason why there is a possibility for a war is that there are people that live there, and they don't want their homes to be in charge or taken over, in essence,
Intruded upon, yeah.
intruded upon by a foreign entity. So as a
But it's not a
foreign
foreign entity to Russia.
Exactly. Well, okay. As a foreign entity myself, I think it would be very worthwhile to go in there, all right, find out where these people live, round them all up, and do a process called relocation. Because
Just bring them the hutch.
no, I'm shipping them to the stars, all right?
Okay.
And the great thing about a star is that it's really hot. This is really reminding me of this guy from 1940s Germany. He brought people to really hot places and they didn't come back.
You know, Considering the demographic of the town, you might get a high approval rating just for saying
Probably,
that.
I probably will. So, with that in mind, it's about getting the voters' vote. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Once you're in office, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. So I mean,
Exactly, and I know.
yeah, we do.
um,
I feel like, I mean, how long has the current mayor been in? I mean, he's
a good while. A good while.
probably made a few good connections. How long can he stay in office?
I think indefinitely. But you know, the thing is, he's made few connections, but he's probably made a few enemies. I can find those
You
people.
fish him out, yeah. They'll
Yeah.
just contact you, like, hey, you need some help.
Well, no, I'll be, you know, boots on the ground. I'll contact these folks myself. I'll bring them into my flock.
How long can you be mayor for? Either, okay. Term of office for the mayor may be either 2 or 4 years.
What?
The term of office.
Gary Forseer's had it since 2015.
Just compare him to Putin then.
Okay, I can do that.
Everyone hates Putin, at least in the States, so you can use that. Um, that doesn't, the fuck, this is like Minnesota statute too. The fuck? Okay, so maybe his term was for 4 years, and then he got like, is his election, like, is he actually having a new election then?
Pretty sure it's every 2 years that they do the. Because okay, all right, let me type it in. Um. All right. Hey, it even tells me where he lives. Good to know.
The fuck?
It does.
Just know that, people are gonna know where you live.
Yeah, I can live with that.
I don't want to live with that.
We'll give him a fake address. All right.
Give
He
him
was
the
a
one you have now, and just keep that.
yeah. All right. So he was a volunteer firefighter for Hutchinson Fire Department for 23 years.
He has some history.
He is an active referee for wrestling and was a coach for Silver Lake, Kalenko, Silver. Okay, so he has Silver Lake connections. That is dumb people connections. I can capitalize upon that. You have connections to a town of meth heads and cocaine addicts. As a business owner and an elected official, that's a conflict of interest right there. Why are you in office? Of course, you're going to enact policies that would benefit your business. You are funneling the money of this town's inhabitants into your pet projects. You capitalist scum.
Would you not do that?
I would.
Well, I mean, everyone is the bad guy until you're in office, and then
I'm the good guy, and everyone else is
Yeah.
still the bad guy. Never
Well, I
mind
mean,
that
yeah.
Never mind that I do the same things. They're the bad guy. This is elite humor episode right here. All right. Gary was elected mayor of Hutchinson in November 2014 and took office in January of 2015. So yeah, he was elected November 2014. So it'd be either this year or no, it would be 2024 if we're going the same time that the presidency runs.
Oh shit, that is actually his house. I thought it would have been like, oh, this is just the mayor's office.
This is what he fucking looks like.
That's Gary.
All right.
He
Wait,
looks
so
like a Gary.
he receives 2,400 votes. His opposition was Mayor Steve Cook. I love that name. Too many cooks. All right. He told the local newspaper in October that Hutchinson city officials spend wastefully, creating an unnecessarily high tax levy. He pledged to put common sense back in government spending. Really? Then why are prices at Walmart so high, Gary? Can you answer me?
It's like federal. But I
Come
mean,
on,
everyone is just going to be so oblivious. So
Come on, Gary. Come on, you're supposed to be for the people, all right? Voice of the people.
Yeah, you could be like Trump, just have a catchphrase. Come on, Gary.
Slow Gary.
Slow Gary.
I would definitely adopt Trump-like tactics during the campaign trail. I would.
No one from NCA is gonna vote.
Well, they can't vote. Well, okay,
They
the teachers, they have to vote for me. All right, they have no fucking choice. Otherwise, I will shut them down when I do win.
You could replace them with the new McDonald's location.
I can make Becker a cook.
He
Okay.
could be the manager.
All right. His opposition said that Hutchinson has successfully controlled spending, limited taxes. I wish that it was Gary that said that because I could make fun of that, but it was his opposition. All right, Cook. All right. This sounds like Trump versus Hillary. This is a microcosm. Gary, or maybe he's not great at being Donald Trump, but Cook has said that Hutchinson has successfully controlled spending, limited tax increases, and made important investments. It's like Hillary saying, okay, we don't need to make America great. America is already good.
Yeah.
It's not. No, we need to fix it, all right? It's a rotten society. Actually,
Yeah,
I know
everything is like negative about everyone else. Like
Yeah.
you're in a dark time right now, and only I can save you.
Yeah. It'd be like indoctrinating people into a cult. To put a more clear-cut picture of what kind of leader I'd want to be to anyone listening in. If you guys have seen the anime Death Note, the main character, Light Yagami, he's a great guy. I really agree with his sense of justice and how we should deal with the crime in this town and the criminals that perpetuate it.
Can we bring the death penalty to Hutch?
For what crimes?
Everyone except you. You can like.
Well, I think it really depends. Where are you taking things from?
Small businesses.
Then I think you should, the owner should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to you for about a minute. Or give them a minute.
You call the police. They're the mediator. They're kind of like the ref.
Yeah, they watch. All right, they make sure you're not going to kill them at least.
Yeah. Their whole campaign is going to be debunked or just like unravel once they uncover this episode.
Yeah, they're going to be threatened. All right, I'm looking up this fucker right now. I want him to know. Should I tweet him? Does he have a Twitter account?
This is Gary Forsyth. That means you have to get a Twitter.
It does. Fuck.
You have to make like Trump-like tweets.
He's on Facebook. The fuck?
I'll go search him on Twitter.
Wait. His last update was in 2020? You're a fucking lazy page politician. Wait a minute.
What does he do then?
I don't know. I could ask him that. All right, Gary, what do you do?
I haven't seen you before. I've lived in this town for as long as I can remember, and I haven't seen you.
Honestly.
You need to get up there. I mean, yeah, this is the first time. This is the first time I've heard of him. So.
Wait a minute. Okay. December 1st, 3 COVID-19 related updates I want to share with you today. I'm attaching a letter. Free COVID testing.
Interesting. Apple Valley Mayor Mary Haman Rowland and Hutchinson Mayor Gary Forsyth celebrate the ribbon cutting at Upanor's new Hutchinson plant.
Interesting. I would bully Upanor because they just have ignored the last application I sent. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. This was 2020. Hutchinson Mayor Gary Forsyth is seeking re-election for a 4th term. But since for the first time he was elected in 2014, he is a challenger. Morgan Baum says she is seeking to become Hutchinson's first ever woman mayor. The two candidates met October 7th and took turns introducing themselves and answering questions submitted by city residents during a publicly broadcasted candidate forum hosted by the leader. I would do great at a questionnaire event like this. I'd do fucking amazing.
He's just playing the woman card.
Yeah, honestly. If I was Gary...
I mean, I'd do that.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd be allowed to.
I'm the only female allowed to use the woman card?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
I mean, to be fair, at least you're not like... It's not like a constant.
Yeah. See, Gary is just a shill, all right? When asked what party I belong to, I always just say that I do what's good for Hutchinson. If a certain party wants to get behind me, that's fine. But I usually go for what's good for Hutchinson. A fucking course, right? You can't pick
That's exactly what you would do.
You can't pick a side, Gary. You need to choose a side in these trying times.
Who are you, Gary? Are you gonna...
What the fuck? Who are you, Gary?
Yeah.
What am I, his British opposition?
Who are you, Gary? Who exactly are you? Who do you affiliate with? Because as far as I know, you're completely uncovered. At least I'm transparent. I tell you who I support and who I'm against, which is you. That could be good.
I'll work on my British accent for this.
We could, yeah, we could work on the speeches together. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, it'll be like so vote me, Hutchinson, because do.
Yeah,
I'm just making
for
it
do.
for do. This doesn't make any sense.
This is good. This is like an actual scheme. Then eventually we're just gonna get bored.
All right, no, this is great. All right, all right. This is what Forcier said. Our residents consistently rate Hutchinson. All right, what residents do you speak to, Gary? That's a good value for the amount of taxes they pay. People are fine with the taxes they pay? Or really? If I go to people and ask them at Walmart, are you fine with paying this much? Are you fine with that? You think they're gonna say yes, Gary? You
That would be
think so?
fun to like have like constant. Are you going to say yes for Gary? Are you gonna say yes for slow Gary?
I got a seagull in my room. All right, some more quotes by Gary. I went back and looked at the census data. All right, all right.
Where are you on?
I'm on a Crow River Media article. Let me send it to you. At least
Oh,
put it in the
okay.
chat.
I'm on Gary Forcier for mayor in his Facebook.
All right, I went back and looked at the census data, the most recent stuff, and that's before the pandemic. And 1/3 of all of our renters in Hutchinson are cost-burdened households, which means they're spending more than they're supposed to on their housing. And that's not just our renters. Our homeowners are making less than $50,000 a year. 50% of
Yeah.
them are spending more than 50% of their income on housing, and that includes.
Wait, do you still have time to like register?
Should, I think. I hope so. I wanna debate Gary. All right, on how
Yeah.
to run this town.
No, but like you're up against two people then.
Oh, no, this was from 2020. This article.
No, this article's from. Oh, it is. Oh, it's
Wait a minute.
updated November
Why-
18th, 2021.
What was updated?
Why was it updated a year later?
It was weird. Okay.
So I guess yeah. I mean, originated maybe.
Yeah. When it comes to taxes, Hutchinson, our rate is low. Really? Let's go to Walmart and ask that. 67%, which is good for our county. But when you look across the board at other cities in the area, Alexandria's tax rate is at 40%. And the reason is because their city council goes out and fights for more money. Exactly. I'd be willing to fight you. All right, Gary, you want to step outside and fight me right now? Come on, let's go. I'm willing to fight for these people. Are
Oh,
you?
just like what's the guy's name? He's just like he was a governor for Minnesota. It's like who is my governor could fight your governor because he was like super buff. Jesse Ventura. I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, it was, yeah. An actor, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Predator.
Mom, on the other hand, said that she will lead by being out in the community as the face of Hutchinson. A woman can't be the face of Hutchinson.
Why not?
All right, woman, do you want to fight?
I mean, Molly would be your woman card. I mean, if she's part of your
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still, assisting you, and she's gonna hold a high position. Maybe
Guys, I'm not sexist. All right, I have
she's
a.
she's essentially vice mayor.
Would you like to be vice mayor?
I would love to be vice mayor.
What would you do
could
as vice mayor?
You could hold a huge, like a humongous, like use city spending on your wedding at like the fairgrounds.
You could.
That'd be amazing.
I know you'd want to probably demand that Target brings in more Bratz dolls.
Yes. More brats.
That could be interesting. Wait, you could actually like keep his campaign going. Just like say obnoxious shit and like, oh, this is, and then people like are gonna be like, obviously oblivious. Oh, this is what a woman talks like. Okay, yeah, we'll just keep Carter in office.
What the fuck? Nice.
What the?
This is I kind of like reading the Hutchinson Leader. Hutchinson man booked on 32 counts of child pornography.
What the fuck?
This is in 2018.
Jesus Christ.
He looks like a thumb.
That person was among us when we were at
Spy
school.
Kids. The thumb characters from Spy Kids.
Spy Kids actor is you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to make that accusation.
You're gonna have to really appeal to the veterans and the first responders in the town. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it anywhere.
Do it. I could. I'm great at talking to other people.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to like, vocally support them.
I can support anyone I need to while I'm on the campaign trail.
Just be Joe Biden. You're just gonna be a political puppet. You're gonna
I'm
swing
making-
wherever people want to.
Look, I'm making this town my political fucking puppet. All right, it's gonna do what
And
I
I'm not-
want it to do.
You're gonna act like it's puppet, so
Yeah.
you can become their puppet.
So yeah, I'm gonna make this town my entire slave state, and then I'm gonna become the governor, and I'm gonna make this country my slave state. I want that.
You're
clip
gonna
to be-
work up your way. You're gonna work your way up the ladder.
I want that clip of me, what I just said, to be played at my live presidential debate when I'm 35. All right, to all the people listening, then I stand by what I said. I stand by what I said.
The new JFK.
Shit. What am I
Yeah,
gonna...
give me the youngest president.
Yeah. I mean, I would be in favor of cutting the budget of the CIA. I don't think that's a terrible thing to do. All right, I'm probably dead already.
You just ruined your life. Yeah, you have to have like presidential escorts. You have to have that. You have to like funnel a bunch of money from Hutch to that.
Wait a minute. Okay. This fucker. Do you remember the guy that did an interview of us for our play?
Yeah.
His name is Jeremy Jones. All right, you're getting exposed now. We have a new hotel coming on Main Street, actually. The Chamber of Commerce. It's above that. So this is what Gary is deciding to spend money on, is a hotel on Main Street. What tourism do we bring in, Gary? What interesting shit do we have here? Why do people want to come to this town when all you do is spend money on useless shit?
I'd like to say Jeremy Jones slandered me. All right.
Look, the whole system, it's a swamp. All right, we gotta
Yeah.
drain it. We gotta drain it.
Could I become a reporter for your team, like after the campaign manager?
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Holy shit, this is actually fucking corrupt. Okay.
What?
Titanium Partners, which built Cobblestone Hotel in Hutchinson at the intersection, they plan to renovate the top 2 floors of the place on Main Street,
That
above
place
the
is a
Chamber of
dump, by
Commerce.
the way.
They plan to include a new roof, elevator, new windows, exterior tuck pointing. Okay. The upscale hotel will have 24 rooms and expected to cost more than $200 per night. All right, here's the next quote. It will probably be the nicest hotel within 50 miles, said Seppelt, who is complimentary of Titanium Partners developer Brian Forcier. The people that built the Cobblestone Hotel, one of the people, the developer, his name is Brian Forcier. Gary Forcier.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I know.
So he's in the pockets of some businesses.
All right, I mean, being genuine about it, there was a fuck ton of people in this town named Forcier. I lived with people named Forcier for about a week.
I mean,
in my life.
you'd have to definitely do a lot more research into that. But I mean, at the same time,
If there is
some
any
pockets,
if there is any connection,
yeah,
I should message what's his fucking name, Dumbfuck Jones, about this possible connection that he should really.
See, what you
investigate.
could do if the election is every 2 years.
Disgusting.
I mean, you'd have to wait a long time, but like you could start like your very quiet campaign now, and then kind of just like rise out of it. But then you'd have to like be committed to this town for at least 4 years.
It's only 2.
I mean, 2 or 4. I mean,
4 years, because like you'd have to wait 2 years for the election again.
I could do it.
And then 2 years while you're elected official.
So this is what Gary's doing. All right, he's building a fucking money laundering front as a hotel. Really? Okay, Gary. And he's having his own fucking family do. Okay, yeah, make more money.
Sketchy Gary.
I'm not gonna lie, just because of this conversation, I'm interested in going to that hotel when it's done.
Oh yeah, same.
It's
We'll have to go.
fucking awful. I went to one of the first 4
No.
ones. It's horrible.
Not the Cobblestone. They're building a new hotel.
Oh yeah, that one would be fun.
200 a night. They have some photos of what it looks like now. They'd have an elevator. The nicest one within 50 miles. Yeah, of course you're gonna
Getting
spend.
stays at the hotel.
You're gonna get such a big budget, aren't you, Brian Forcier? All right, you know what?
I cannot foresee Forcier.
Twitter slogan. All right, Brian Forcier. Oh, found him. Found him on LinkedIn.
Ooh.
Duluth, Minnesota. This fucker's in Duluth.
Maybe they aren't related then.
No,
All
they
right, you know what? This has been a long podcast and a good one. This is, I hope people found some interest in the topics despite us not having a lot of comments, rolling in. Again, fucking talk to us. Even if you're scared, I mean...
Even if you're a Russian bot, come on, hop on. We can talk.
Yeah, we'll answer to you. Just yeah.
I won't bow down, though, to you. All right, I have Hutchinsonians. No, I'm just getting rid of all of us. We're done. We're done as a staff. We're done.
You have been aware. You have been made aware of the future. This has been a special episode. Every episode is a special episode here in the OPP podcast. Like it's OP podcast. Overpowered podcast.